A very good evening to you from Abuja. This is Nationwide on the NTA. I'm Ayodiji Makinde. We'll begin with security matters as the Commander Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe says no stone will be left unturned until criminals involved in oil theft is reduced to the barest minimum, if not stopped, in the Niger Delta region of the country. The Commander, Joint Task Force South Operation Delta Safe, Rear Admiral John Okeke, stated these at the task force headquarters in Bogene, Bayelsa State, while parading two suspects who have been facilitating illegal oil theft in the region. Danikume Ulolo reports.
The mandate of the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe is to protect oil and gas infrastructure to prevent militancy, sea robbery, crude oil theft, and other forms of criminality within the joint operation area. Task Force Commander Rear Admiral John Okeke says the troops of the Joint Task Force South Operation Delta Safe early on Tuesday morning, upon credible intelligence, stormed Port Harcourt resident of the ringleader and one other suspect of a syndicate which specializes on printing fake documents for stolen crude oil in the Operation Delta Safe joint operation area.
The suspect has confessed to the procuring of fake waybills, illegal sales of crude oil, and the diversion of stolen crude from pipelines. As Commander, Joint Task Force South Operation Delta Safe, I've made it clear that no stone will be left unturned until criminal in the joint operation area is totally eradicated or reached barest minimum.
Documents recovered from one of the suspects include fake stamps of some associations and waybills, forged identity card, truck seal, fake receipt, and fake certificates.
It has been since 2011. I used to have my Oga.
Your Oga from where?
From Kaduna State, but he's dead. It is not genuine.
The commander says the suspects will subsequently face prosecution after necessary investigation. Earlier, the commander played host to some youth group who are committed to assisting the task force in the fight against oil theft within the Joint Task Force Operation area. From Ibogide, headquarters of Operation Delta Safe, Danikume Ulolo, NTA News.
The FCT Police Command has confirmed an unprovoked attack by the proscribed Islamic Movement of Nigeria, popularly known as the Shiite Group, on some personnel of the Nigerian Force attached to FCT Command at Wuse Junction by traffic lights, where 2 police personnel were killed, 3 left unconscious in the hospital, and 3 police patrol vehicles set ablaze. Police Public Relations Officer in the FCT, Superintendent of Police Josephine Ade, explains the proscribed organization attacked the police checkpoint unprovoked, wielding machetes, improvised explosive devices, and knives, while several arrests have been made. Commissioner of Police FCT Bennett Igwe condemns the unprovoked attack on the police officers and promises to bring those involved to book. The situation is presently under control and normalcy has been restored. A businessman in Lagos has excreted 68 wraps of cocaine following his arrests at the local wing of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja. Salwan Ibrahim reports that operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, also smashed a 5-member ladies' drug trafficking gang, arrested 2 others for online sales of drugs in Edo State.
The 36-year-old Onitsha-based businessman was arrested at the early hours of Thursday, 8 August 2024 at the old domestic terminal of the Lagos airport while attempting to board a flight to Abuja, where he was scheduled to join another flight to Vietnam at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The suspect was under NDLEA surveillance following intelligence report. He was thereafter intercepted by NDLEA operatives who moved him into excretion observation, where he spent the next 12 days excreting the cocaine pellet weighing 1.2 kilograms. The agency also arrested 5 cross-border female drug traffickers at the Seme border while on their way back to Lagos from Ghana. Leader of the syndicate, a 42-year-old, has been under NDLEA radar before being tracked and arrested on Wednesday, 21st August, along with other members of her gang. At the point of their arrest, a total of 14 packs of loud were recovered from hidden parts of their bodies. Similarly, operatives at the Tinkan Seaport in Lagos on Friday, 23rd August, intercepted 2 containers which came from Mundra port in India. No fewer than 1,596 cartons of codeine-based syrup containing 319,200 bottles of the opioid, worth about 2 billion naira, were recovered from the containers during examination with other port stakeholders. 2 ladies were arrested by operatives in Benin City for online sales of illicit drugs. A 21-year-old was arrested with 30 cups of cookies and 17 slices of cake, all laced with illicit substances. A raid operation at Ogada village of the state on Tuesday, 20th August, led to the arrest of a 50-year-old with quantities of cannabis. Drug raids were carried out in Kogi, Delta, and Yobe State during the week under review. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya, the Emir of Ningi, is dead at 88 years. The royal father passed away on Sunday morning after a protracted illness at a hospital in Kano. Alhaji Usman Suli, Secretary of the Ningi Emirate Council, confirmed the death in a statement on Sunday, saying the Emir died 2 days after returning from a medical trip to Mecca on August 22. According to Sule, the funeral prayer for the Emir is about now holding in his palace in Ningi. Danyaya was installed in 1978 as a first-class traditional ruler in Bauchi State. His reign witnessed the rapid transformation of social and economic development of the Emirates Council. Born in Ningi in 1936, Danyaya attended Ningi Elementary School between 1941 and 1946. and Bauchi Middle School between 1946 and 1951. He was at the School of Hygiene, Kano, in 1951 and attended Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, for a 1-year course in public administration between 1956 and 1957. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu commiserates of Ningi Emirates and Bauchi State government over the passing of the Emir of Ningi, Alhaji Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya. The first-class monarch passed away in the early hours of Sunday. President Tinubu describes the deceased as an illustrious leader who deployed the power and resources of his throne in the service of his community. The president prays for the repose of the soul of the departed traditional ruler and condoles with the family and all those grieving the loss. And next is a tribute on the life and times of the Emir of Ningi from Bauchi.
Late Emir of Ningi Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya rules the emirate for 46 years. Installed in 1978, the Emir has become the longest reigning Emir in the history of Ningi Emirate. Born in 1936, Yunusa Danyaya had an illustrious working career before ascending the throne of his forebears. He attended the Ningi Elementary School between 1941 and 1946, then Bauchi Middle School from 1946 to 1951, before proceeding to the School of Hygiene Kano the same year, and later to the Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, and earned a diploma in public administration. His working records during the Native Authority period started as a dispenser at Nasarawa Dispensary in Ningi. He was a member of the Ningi Emirate Council from 1956 to 1960, Councillor for Medical and Health Department from 1956 to 1959, and member of Ningi Native Authority Outer Council between 1954 and 1956. Emir Danyaya was turbaned district head and Churoman Ningi as the beginning of his voyage in royalty. In 1963, late Yunusa Danyaya joined Nigerian Tobacco Company, Zaria, as a welfare officer serving until 1967. In 1968, he became an assistant marketing officer who was later made assistant manager in charge of Gusau and Kaurana Moda in 1968 under the Northern Nigeria Marketing Board. Died in the early hours of Sunday in Kano, where he was receiving medical attention for age-related health issues. The first-class traditional ruler has spent 46 years on the throne after he ascended it in 1978. In Bauchi, Moaz Hassan, NTA News.
And like we told you earlier, the funeral prayers for its monarch is about now holding in Ningi. Of course, we have live feeds from the palace of the monarch, and we're still trying to establish contact with Muhazu Hassan. And Muhazu, just a day, and of course, a colossal loss to the people of Ningi Emirates and Bauchi State. What a loss for the state, Muhazu.
Such moment here of the Ningi Emirates, and right now we are right at the front of the Emir's palace of Ningi, where thousands of sympathizers have already converged for the funeral prayer. The funeral prayer has been scheduled to be held around 4 o'clock, but due to the arrival of the governor, Bala Muhammad, the funeral prayer is not been able to start at 4 o'clock. But the governor has just arrived, and any moment the funeral prayer will commence here. And then a lot of sympathizers from within and outside Bauchi State have already converged of the Emir's late Ningi Alhaji Yunusa Muhammad Danyaya. And right now the funeral prayer is about to commence inside the palace because of the number of people that turned out for the funeral prayer.
Muazu, I'd like to thank you for the update. I mean, it's just speaks volumes to see the number of people who have converged for the funeral prayer of the late monarch. Thank you very much once again, Muazu.
Thank you.
All right, live feeds there from Ningi for the burial of the late Emir of Ningi, who passed away in the early hours of Sunday. From Bauchi, let's cross over to Jigawa State, where we learned that more than 11 million naira have been distributed to 950 beneficiaries of cash collected as Zakat in Yairi and Fagam districts of Dutse Emirates, Jigawa State. Sheikh Muhammad Datti reports that the Emir of Dutse, while distributing the alms, appreciated the people who gave out the Zakat for performing their religious obligation.
I'm very happy and grateful. May Allah reward them for the gesture. Thanks to God Almighty who made it possible for me to be among the beneficiaries. I'm thankful. May God reward them abundantly. These are among the beneficiaries of more than 6 million naira collected as Zakat in Yayari district. Beneficiaries were given 15,000 and 10,000 naira, majority of whom are aged and vulnerable within the society. Emir Abdusi, while addressing the people, said Zakat does not only reduce poverty within the society, but also create harmonious relationships and attracts multiple reward for the givers. He admonished the beneficiaries to utilize them collected judiciously. In Fagam, 5,200,000 naira was distributed to 520 beneficiaries, each of them getting 10,000 naira. The Emir challenged them to respect each other's opinion, which he said will bring lasting harmony amongst them. He warned against encroaching each other's territory, which may result to clashes between farmers and herders, calling for peace amongst them. The monarch charged them to report any suspicious character to the appropriate authority for necessary action. He also ordered them to report intruders who were said to have been coming to mine the mineral resources in the area.
No matter how what we have on ground will relieve us from poverty, if there is no peace, then I don't think it's worth mining it. So that is why the Jigawa State government has banned any form of mining, and we're assisting the government by enforcing it.
The distribution exercise will continue with other districts. In Dutse, Show Muhammad Dati, NTA News.
It is no longer news that Nigeria in recent past witnessed a surge of relocation of a workforce, especially those in the health sector abroad, in search of greener pastures. But that's not something to worry about, as the Abia State College of Nursing Sciences is breaking new grounds in health professionals that could be trusted in learning and in character, attracting recognition from the Nigerian Books of Record Hall of Fame. Ikechukwu Ndukwe tells us more.
Between the year 2016 and 2018, the Nigerian Medical Association reports that over 9,000 of her members left Nigeria to seek greener pasture in UK, USA, and Canada. Similarly, 75,000 nurses and midwives in the past 5 years have equally relocated abroad, according to the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. The current trajectory in the training of nurses, midwives, and other health experts shows that Nigeria has become a hub for trained health professionals around the globe.
And today it's also been listed into the Book of Fame. These are things that calls to memory of the nation.
A recent induction of the board chairman, College of Nursing Sciences, Ndoke Abia State, Dr. Godwin Omontwen, by the Nigerian Books of Record Hall of Fame is a clear indication that the college is not resting in providing quality health professionals that can compete globally.
But when I went through it, I saw those that have touched the lives of people in the country and have lived a selfless life and has laid down their lives for so many other people to live.
The magic, according to the college, is an astute blend of curriculum and effective domains of education to accomplish societal needs in the health sector. In Aba, Ikechukwu Ndukwe, NTA News.
From Aba, let's go to the Center of Excellence, where Adeola, the regular company with me on Sunday, will be giving us the next set of reports. And Adeola, the Alafia Eco scheme is just about commencing. Tell us more about that. Sunday will be giving us the next set of reports.
And is really trying to make the residents, be at peace in this current economic realities. Now let's go to our first report. Current economic challenges in the country is no doubt affecting cost of goods and services, even essential services such as healthcare, which many can hardly access. The need to therefore ameliorate the situation and make healthcare delivery accessible to residents necessitated the launch of a free medical outreach tagged Alafiaiko scheme. S.A. Owamaka gives us more insight on the health initiative by the Lagos State government.
The Lagos Free Medical Outreach tagged Alafia Eco under the Eco Cares initiative of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is specifically designed to address the rising costs of medications and healthcare services in the state. To ensure the initiative is accessible by majority of residents, the free medical outreach was launched in all 6 health districts in Lagos State. The impact of the first and second phase is better expressed by some beneficiaries.
I have a partial glaucoma, but they have given me space and some drugs for me to apply.
I was given eyeglasses for my reading, and I'm honest with you, I can see crystal clear with these glasses.
The health scheme also provided some residents the opportunity to register for health insurance scheme tagged Ilera Eco which is crucial for continued access to affordable healthcare services.
We want people to go very, very to have the eco. So what has happened for the vulnerables, they have EcoSha. This is where they don't pay anything for any premium. So we give them health insurance for 1 year. We're now trying to encourage others to take on eco. It's, it's something that if they use and they go to their primary healthcare centers, they do not have to pay.
The free medical outreach, Alafia Eco, may have come to a close, but the government is consolidating on its positive impacts to ensure that no resident is left behind in effective healthcare delivery across the state. In Lagos, S.A. Owamaka, NTA News.
Now from health, let's move over to education. Summer holiday is the longest vacation in school's academic calendar. It is usually a period when both students and their teachers are expected to have time to relax and engage. It is different from the four walls of a classroom. But this is not always the case, as some parents still engage their children in summer lessons during long vacations. Diana Ajaleho spoke with some parents and educationists on whether children should be engaged in summer lessons or not, came back with different views. Let's hear her.
When we're talking about vacation or holidays, we are saying that that's time for children to rest. These are children who are tender, whose brain, are just developing. So they need to have adequate rest.
Summer break is expected to come as a relief from a stressful academic year by providing students with the opportunity to explore personal interests and engage in non-academic pursuits. Though some still embrace the idea of engaging in fun activities like traveling for visitation or sightseeing, bonding with family, among many activities. Others use the period as an opportunity to prepare their children for the next session by enrolling them in summer classes. For them, that is the best way of addressing academic regression, commonly referred to as the summer slide.
My last baby is about 9 years. We have to catch them at the early age. She go to summer coaching in the morning, and by the time she come back 12, by 2 o'clock she will go to where she's learning how to sew something.
We don't think about psychology parts. Some of these children say they don't want book, they just want to draw. Some of them just want to sing. Some of them just want to act.
Educationists speak on the pros and cons of summer classes.
During the long holidays, they should be allowed to develop the psychomotive aspect of their, entire being, and they're effective. And some of the things they can do is by engaging in educative games, investment games, and by getting to learn new vocational skills.
These parents are busy. Father goes to work, mother goes to work, and then the children are left at the mercy of house helps.
Educationists also advise that parents should always strike a balance between learning and relaxation to avoid overstressing children. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
And those are reports from Lagos. Nationwide continues in our Maiduguri Center with Abubakar. After this break, please stay with us.
We hope you are still on to Nationwide on the Nigerian Television Authority. The news belt now continues in Maiduguri. To foster President Tinubu's vision of a comprehensive healthcare system that guarantees optimal and equitable medical care for all Nigerians, Special Advisor to the President on Health, Ibrahim Anas, is seeking collaborative efforts from key stakeholders in the health sector. The goal is to reposition the healthcare system for quality and affordable access to healthcare services, driving overall growth and development, leveraging technological innovations to achieve its objectives. Tina Torosari captured the Special Advisor's interface with key health stakeholders in
with
Maiduguri.
Borno State as the major contributor to maternal and child mortality in Nigeria, changing the trajectory through strengthening the primary healthcare system and human resource for health took center stage at the strategic stakeholders engagement. Special Advisor to the President on Health, Dr. Salma Ibrahim Anas, emphasized on inclusivity for needs assessment, for more positive outcomes, especially at the grassroots, reiterating commitment of the present administration in strengthening capacity through health financing, local content development, seamless coordination between government and its development partners.
Let's identify what are the problems. Why are people dying? Women specifically as a result of pregnancy, as a result of childbirth. Why are families not taking their children for immunization, children under 5 years? What type of food are they using to feed their babies? So those are the conversations we want to have in a culturally sensitive manner so that they can develop homegrown solutions that are sustainable.
Borno State Commissioner for Health, Professor Baba Malam Gana, acknowledged the giant strides of the special advisor who was once a commissioner for health in the state and transformative initiatives being consolidated upon in the health sector. He noted that the Borno State government is offering free healthcare services to pregnant women and children, highlighting the need for establishment of an emergency transport system for pregnant women to access adequate care in record time.
Those of us who are not left behind in Borno State is in our focus to reduce these statistics of reduction of maternal and neonatal mortality within the state.
Developmental partners to include WHO, UNICEF, International Rescue Committee, UNFPA, among others, assured of their support and called for strengthening of health institutions at the grassroots, especially in hard-to-reach areas. This collaboration is expected to significantly enhance maternal and child health, strengthen neonatal care, and promote reproductive health. In Maiduguri, Tina Toro, NTA News.
And a report from Gombe says climate change, over-extraction of water and other human activities are some of the challenges responsible for the shrinking of Lake Chad Basin. However, seasoned geographers from the Gombe State University seemed to have come up with a better solution to this problem. Here is Umar Garba with the rest of the story.
Research shows that Lake Chad River Basin is a home to over 30 million people, many of whom rely on the basin's resources for fishing, irrigation, and drinking water. In recent years, the basin faces numerous challenges, including water scarcity, pollution, and the impacts of climate change, which threatens the livelihoods of people living in the region.
But now, the water has receded far into...
To provide solutions on conservation and restoration of the Lake Chad, researchers came up with a documented paperwork that will address these challenges.
Diversion would be the possible solution. And their own recommendations, their sources, we feel they are too distant away. And the massive regolith in between, the interflows in between the two basins, the Chad Basin and the Source Basin, is so huge that the cost would be high for any government. So instead, River Gongola used to be a natural source recharging the lake. So why not we revisit it? Government should revisit it and then rechannel the river to Lake Chad.
So alternative recharge of the Lake Chad is the best alternative so far. Despite boreholes have been drilled inside the Lake Chad, yet the Lake Chad is shrinking. So there is need for alternative means of recharging the Lake Chad.
The researchers says the overall objective of the paper presented is to sensitize government and relevant stakeholders on happenings around the Lake Chad River Basin that are life-threatening not only to Nigeria but the entire West African region. Nefisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
And from Gombe, we shall now return to Ayodeji in Abuja for the of reports for us this evening.
Thanks, Abubakar, in our Maiduguri Network Center for your contribution. Back here, flood disaster is a major threat to nations, claiming lives and livelihoods in Nigeria. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, never rests on its oars in strategizing mitigation efforts to minimize the effects. Eliasu Yakubu in this report examines efforts so far put in place by NEMA in 2024 flood intervention.
Every year in Nigeria comes with its attendant flood consequences, depending on the magnitude. The 2024 climate predictions and flood outlook indicate 148 local government areas in 31 states of the Federation are at risk of high flood, while 249 local government areas in 35 states and the Federal Capital Territory are within moderate risk areas. 27 states have been affected, with 227,494 people displaced and 32,837 houses destroyed, while 16,488 hectares of farmlands were washed away. 44 lives were lost so far.
60 to 70 years now, I've never seen such a thing.
The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has since from the onset of climate predictions and flood outlook initiated various plans by engaging strategic partners to brainstorm and come out with workable strategies that will see to the effective mitigation of disasters across the country.
NEMA has also activated the National Emergency Operations Center to support and coordinate responses, share information, provide timely support to affected areas, collate and analyze flood incident data across the country.
While immediate relief efforts are essential, NEMA is also focused on long-term strategies to reduce the impact of future incidents. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Let's also tell you that the federal government is supporting victims of flood across the country, as Nasarawa state government received 3 billion naira to mitigate impacts of the disaster in the state. Governor Abdullahi Sule says the fund will be judiciously used to re-establish victims of flooding in the state. Aliu Tijani reports.
As rains intensifies across the country, more communities are being ravaged by flooding, with houses destroyed and farmland washed away. Nasarawa is one of the states hit by the disaster this year, and federal government steps in to bring succor to victims. 3 billion naira provided to support victims of flood in the state, and Governor Abdullahi Sule commends President Bola Tinubu for the intervention, assuring that the fund will be judiciously used.
We want to make sure that as every kobo we spend out of this 3 billion is accounted for and it is related to flood.
Also, the people of the state appreciate President Tinubu for approving the conversion of the Plateau Arab Specialist Hospital Lafia as Federal University of Lafia Teaching Hospital. The gesture, Governor Sule says, excites people of the state.
The first approval for the conversion actually came during the past administration, but as at that time, the approval was for the relocation of all the doctors, all the personnel, facilities, from FMC Kefi to come here, which was not exactly what we wanted. So we kept delaying and kept writing and kept pleading.
Other issues discussed at the State Executive Council meeting include payment of pensioners for local government retired staff, which the state government says henceforth will be funded by local government authority in view of Supreme Court judgment that affirmed their autonomy. In Lafia, Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
Minister of Youth Development, Jamila Ibrahim Bio, has reiterated the commitments of the federal government to ensure that Nigerian youth are meaningfully engaged to contribute to economic growth. This was at the closing ceremony of a workshop on how to write a bankable business plan for youth entrepreneurs, which held at the National Youth Development Center, Osun State. Femi Afariogun reports.
A 2-week training workshop on how to generate, design and write a bankable business plan for youth entrepreneurs from the southern part of Nigeria was part of the federal government's ongoing effort to address youth unemployment and foster entrepreneurship. Presiding over the closing ceremony was the Minister of Youth Development, Jamila Bio Ibrahim, represented by Director of Enterprise Development and Promotion, Federal Ministry of Youth Development, Olubenga Momo, as she emphasized the importance of equipping young Nigerians with tools necessary to transform their business ideas into viable ventures.
They should train others. They should be trainers. They should train their colleagues. Stop their parents at home that are doing business. They can equally tell them how to detect fraud.
160 youths from 17 states participated in intensive sessions focusing on critical aspects of business planning, market research, financial forecasting, and strategic planning.
Going out as a new person, as a person who is able to prioritize his needs and wants in life.
Beyond the workshop, the Ministry of Youth Development promised to engage them in mentorship programs and access to funding opportunities. From Odeomo in Osun State, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
This is Nationwide from NTA Studio here in Abuja. We'll go for a break. When we return, Mary in our Just Network Center will be giving us the next sets of reports.
Thanks for still staying tuned to Nationwide and welcome to our studio in Jos. Governor Caleb Mutfwang's administration will lay a solid foundation for a modern and functional education in view of its role in the social economic development of the society. This was while receiving a report from the Committee on the Review of Higher Education in the state. Ndayang and Debagang report.
The committee, made up of experts in education, was inaugurated in June to take stock of the current situation and provide practical solutions to the state government on how best higher education can be improved upon to be the best among the committee of schools in Nigeria. While presenting the report of the committee, its chairman, Professor Barnabas Curix, says the work of the committee was made easier by the cooperation they received in all the institutions under their mandate. Some of the recommendations of the committee include the setting aside of monthly subventions to schools after a forensic audit of all the institutions, and also the need for a city campus for the Plateau State University Bokos.
The assignment was quite revealing. It made us to gear up to be able to make recommendations that we believe are implementable.
Governor Mutfwang commended members of the committee for their sacrifice, saying the decay in the system necessitated the formation of the committee to come up with a document that can be used to change the fortunes of public schools.
Over the years, I have watched with great concern the decline in our educational output. I guarantee you that this report will not gather dust on the shelf.
In Jos, Indenyan and Debagang, NTA News.
And in security, Plateau State Commissioner of Police Emmanuel Adeshina is asking personnel of the command to be alert to their responsibilities of ensuring safety of lives and property of citizens. He stated this in Jos while decorating the newly promoted officers of the command. Ijoma Ozemena completes the report.
That was the decoration of the newly promoted Assistant Superintendent 2, in line with the recommendations of the Inspector General of Police. Plateau State Commissioner of Police Emmanuel Adeshina urged them to exhibit the core values of service and brace up for the challenges ahead towards checkmating criminal activities in the country. He further commended their hard work, which the Commissioner says earned them the well-deserved promotion.
This new rank goes with a lot of responsibilities. That means they have to show leadership. Now, posting will change, everything will change for them. And this is them to give back to the Nigerian police and the society that they are serving.
Some of the decorated officers who thanked the police authority for the promotion promised to justify the gesture by working with absolute dedication and professionalism.
I'm grateful to God Almighty. I want to thank the Inspector General of Police, our Commissioner of Police, and all the management teams. We're grateful to them and we're grateful to Almighty God.
We should be very dedicated to our job.
Meanwhile, the police commissioner advised personnel to redouble efforts in their service to the nation. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
And towards boosting agriculture and enhance food sufficiency, 300 internally displaced persons, IDP in Jos, have benefited from the Renewed Hope Agriculture Empowerment Project. The project enhances agricultural production and provide livelihood for the IDPs. Ndeyang and Debegang details.
The project seeks to empower these IDPs with farm inputs, training, and resources necessary to engage them in sustainable agricultural practices. Initiator of the project, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, provided 1,000 hectares of land to the beneficiaries for cultivation.
Getting 2 years now, we are in camp. So honestly, when we came here, we see the farms, we're really happy.
The Director, National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, Fatima Mamandora, says the farmlands provided are safe and training on modern farming techniques, as well as established market linkages for the farmers, will be carried out.
The initiative will enhance food security and economic stability, ensuring that IDPs participate in farm production for both subsistence and income generation.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang, represented, as well as the Bongom Jos, appreciate the efforts, urging the beneficiaries to take advantage of the opportunity to empower themselves.
This is no doubt a paradigm shift from subsistence farming to a commercial farming.
Nigerians are ready to farm. Let us have the security. Let us work together and unite together.
This is mitigating poverty.
In Jos, Ndenyan and Abuja, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Jos. Ayodeji Makinde is still standing by in our Abuja studio for the continuation of Nationwide. Good evening.
All right, thanks, Mary. In our Jos Network Center, from Jos to Ogun State, where Governor Dapo Abiodun has flagged off the construction of the 70-kilometer Abeokuta-Ifo-Ota Lagos Expressway with a pledge that the project will be completed in the next 18 months. The governor, who performed the flag-off in Ewekoro local government area, notes that the road is significant to Ogun, Lagos State and Nigeria at large. Hakeem Jimo reports.
The expressway.
Governor Dapo Abiodun, who appreciates President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for obliging the request of Ogun State government for the reconstruction of the expressway, underscores the importance of the road, assuring that it will create jobs for both skilled and unskilled workers through direct and indirect employment.
We continue to prioritize roads leading to farm settlements, to rural areas, to townships and border communities, so that we can coordinate the movement of people, goods and services along our industrial hubs. I also pledge to continue completing any inherited project.
Stakeholders note that with the project, succor is gradually coming the way of road users.
We need to also consider Papa for a bridge. Papa deserves a kind of interchange that Crackdown introduced as a plan.
And a silent achiever. Excellency, not only in Nigeri or Ewekoro that we are directed, but across 5 local governments.
The road, which has been in deplorable condition for years, is expected to be completed within the next 18 months. From Itori in Ogun State, Hakeem Jimo, NTA News.
And in sports, Nigeria Premier Football League champions International of Enugu will face Angolan side Sagrada Esperanza in the second round of CAF Champions League after beating Zilimaju 2-1 on aggregate. For details and more, let's join Suleiman Musa on Sports Updates. It's Nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayodeji. Mike in there from all of us here in Abuja. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.